thinking about being a goggle. So we're totally on a vacation-y thing.
Is that Pikachu Pass?
That's Pika. Yeah.
Isn't it like Pikachu or something?
It's Pikachu, like when I look at you naked, Pikachu.
Well, no, I would always call it Pikachu, and usually it's not Pikachu. It is Pikachu.
No, it's Pikachu.
Yeah, but it's Pikachu. Pikachu Peak.
I don't think that's how the letters are arranged in that word.
It doesn't matter.
Is it yellow? Does it shoot lightning out of its butthole?
Maybe.
I'm not entirely convinced that mountain has a butthole. That's the mountain right there. I'm going to point with my finger, and then that's a truck right there. That's a truck from the Swift company. We're presently driving towards the city of Tucson, Arizona. We're going to go to a secret adventure, which I have not informed Stacy about at all. She has no idea what the fuck is happening right now.
Pretty much, but that's my everyday.
I'm trying to keep her in the dark about it as much as possible, even though I did have to inform her about some equipment requirements, such as gloves and a giant butt plug approximately this large diameter, which are required for this particular adventure.
I don't have, so just make it.
You just use that thing. Just use your water bottle. And I'll use this Coke bottle because it's got a shape that's more conducive to the gentlemanly butt.
Or, if you're a certain brand of individual, it represents the female body, so you're just oppressing me by shoving that in your ass.
I am oppressing women with my masculinity every time I shove a Coke bottle kilt deep up my ass. So after we're done with the as yet undisclosed adventure, which I'm sure that thanks to editing will become apparent later in this video, we're then going to go to the city of Tombstone, Arizona.
Because I've never been and I'm excited to go!
Woo! Tombstone, Arizona is in fact the same Tombstone that you may have seen movies about involving prostitution and shooting people at the Pretty Alright Corral. And we're going to go there and observe prostitution and shooting people, possibly. Or, at the very least, we're going to consume a delicious margarita or something thereabouts.
It'd be neat if we had money to witness the prostitution.
We have... Wait, are you saying that you wish we could hire a prostitute in Tombstone?
Maybe. Just like, but hire her or him as a tour guide.
Like, hypothetically speaking, because, prostitution is not legal in this state, but hypothetically speaking, if they had prostitution in Tombstone, would they be like kind of,
Historic?
Yeah, it's a
historic prostitution.
Yeah, I mean it's a tourist town. Like the whole deal there is, the history. It's not like 21st century Tombstone.
That brothel inn thing.
Yeah, I mean you can rent rooms, but they don't provide a lady. But I'm saying if it was hypothetically, if prostitution was legal and totally a thing that people did as a regular thing, above the board, would you be able to hire a prostitute who hasn't showered in a month?
I think they'd probably bathe more regularly. Well, yeah, I mean, just for practical reasons.
I think that brothels and bathhouses kind of occupied much of the same territory. At least I would. You show up. You've been mining out in the Pikachu peaks for fucking months. Here, I'm gonna point this. There's Pikachu Peak. Anyway, you've been mining there, even though there's no gold. You're a fucking idiot. You keep mining there anyways. And
maybe they're just mining for rocks.
And then you come in and you're smelling pretty bad, and you're like, man,
fucking wash your nasty ass.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you want a one-stop shop where you get a bath, a shave, a haircut, and a little bit of this or that, all kind of rolled into one thing, and then figure out how to pay for it because you've been mining for gold in the dumbest possible, most devoid of gold place in all of creation.
Our house?
Yes. No, there's probably more gold in our house because I think computer parts have
electronics.
Yeah, electronics have a little bit of gold. I don't know if people from the 1800s would know about how computer parts have little tiny bits of gold in them.
I don't think a lot of current people who use technology on a regular basis know that there's gold in it.
Well, fuck their fucking faces. Anyway, after we're done in Tombstone, wherein we'll have a very good time, We're then traveling to a lake of some sort where we will enjoy lakeside camping, followed by some kayaking tomorrow.
Woo! Yakking.
And potentially another surprise, which I will not...
I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah, your shit will fucking turn inside out. You won't even know what the hell's happening.
I already don't.
You already have inside out shit. And I'm not talking about fecal matter. I'm talking about just like shit as a noun, a generic assortment of non-specific conditions.
A replacement for the word stuff.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yes.
I need to shave my head. Like just
Just need to shave your head completely.
No.
And tell people you have cancer whenever they start complaining. Just be like, motherfucker, I am dying of ass cancer right now, and you're making fun of my hair. Fuck your goddamn face up a tree.
No.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about that right now. Alright, so where are we going?
We're going to that cave.
That was a good guess. We're going to the cave. Your face.
Well, I was like, what could we be doing that would require really sturdy clothing? I don't think we're going to hug cactus.
I'm going to hug fucking cactuses. I'm just going to be like, oh, I love you, cactus. I love you. And then I'll suck the cactus's cock.
Cactus don't have cocks. Despite what they want people to think.
Let's just go
Phallic
home, man.
imagery.
Let's just go home.
But we're going to the cave?
Yeah, we're going to the cave. You know what the best part about going to the cave is? Once we're in there, it's gonna be all dark, and I can touch your butt. And what?
I don't do well in dark.
You know what? I'm gonna touch your butt in the dark, and you're not gonna know.
You're gonna hold on to my butt the whole time?
No,
so
like
I feel safe.
you're gonna be in there, and there's gonna be like at least one other person with us, because I don't think they let you just wander around the cave by yourself.
You can still hold on to my butt the whole time.
And then,
feel better.
but what if someone else that's in there, you know, gets themselves a little bit of butt touching action?
As long as you're touching my butt, it's okay.
So you can have a community butt as long as I'm part of the community?
As long as you're the initiate.
Hey everybody! Free butts! Get your
Yeah, but
free
if you say
butts.
butts, they'll think yours is
No.
on the table too.
My butt is not on, it's on a chair.
It's singular.
There's
Free
not even
butt.
a table in here.
Free butt. It's like free bird, but
I don't think that
musically
free butt would not be a good song. Which is not to imply that Free Bird is a good song, but
free butts would be worse.
Free Butts is worse.
We were just talking about this before we left town.
Not Free Butts.
I want the best for butts because I don't want them farting up my air.
What if that's what butts like best?
I don't care.
They're like, finally I get to do something. It's so boring sitting here inside pants, with nothing going in or out of me.
Nope.
So you know what? When I get to play a tune, whenever I get to play a trumpet, I'm happy.
My butt personally does not care for that.
What if your butt was like Dizzy Gillespie? You know that trumpet player guy who's like famous for looking ridiculous when he plays a trumpet? His cheeks go all... And
No, my butt is not.
Your cheeks don't-
Player. My butt plays no instruments.
I think acoustically, butts are more like reed instruments. You know, like... Because like a trumpet, it's got the resonator and then the resonant cavity of your mouth, right? And so your lips form the part that... And I think that like those are like full wavelength. But like I think it's more like an oboe where it's half wavelength because it's only the resonant cavity inside your butt. There's nothing outside of it. There's not a horn. You know?
It's not a horn outside of your butt.
Yeah, so I think acoustically speaking, butts are less of a trumpet and more of an oboe. They're more of like a reed instrument. If you look at the actual waveform.
I'm not gonna look at the waveform of butts.
I hope that I'm never like trying to play an oboe and all of a sudden number 2 comes out. What's happening right now?
It's touching your butt.
Don't put an oboe up my butt.
Promises. Dude.
What?
Dude, this person behind us needs to remove himself from a sphincter.
Maybe he wants to be on camera too. Maybe he's like, hey, those people are recording a thing. I would also like to be part of this. Oh no, it's just a dumb old lady. I bet she smells bad. Right, minor.
Not quite.
Is a 2-inch gap good enough?
Yes?
Are you about to go In all?
That helmet strap is doing wonders for your chin.
Like unpleasant wonders?
Yes.
Sweet. My double chin. My quadruple chin.
It's giving you a double chin.
I have a double chin already.
No, you don't.
I have chins.
Why you hating?
We're obligated to prove that we existed somewhere. You exist, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
mostly.
Alright, so we're gonna go into our ladder section now. Are you ready? Yeah. Alright. Turn my lamp on. Last time I was in here, there was a little bat chilling out.
I think I saw one at the very beginning of our tour.
Flying?
No, it's kind of like a little archway to the right of the entrance.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Definitely heard them.
Yeah? It was noisy little boogers somewhere. The one that we had last time was back before that spin part. He was just hanging out like right there. He let us both walk by him. One time there was like a basketball sized fucking bat roosting right in here. We were like, what do we do? So we turned around and went the other way. But they were noisy buggers. They were, actually I don't know what kind of bat they were, but loud suckers. So this is our registry room. Most caves and even some hiking trails and stuff will have a registry that you sign into and out of once you leave. That way if you were ever to go missing, they would know where to use their resources to find you. That way they're not, looking for a kidnapper when really you're just lost in a cave somewhere. It's the 25th now. We're not going to sign out because we're not coming through here again. Plus we have a whole a whole gift shop full of people that would be very curious if we didn't come back out in a little bit. So we'll go ahead and sign in here. You guys can write your name, your favorite song lyrics, last will and testament, anything you feel like putting in the next 5 seconds or so, 5-10 seconds each.
Deny you that privilege.
You deny me everything.
Everything.
So behind you, there are 2 ladders. One is the fast boring route, and the other is the scenic route. How do we feel about the scenic route?
I'm always down for a scenic route.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I was hoping one would go to like damnation and doom and the other one would go to like fabulous prizes, but
What I'm assuming are drill marks.
yeah, it's probably where they're sticking dynamite or something.
Drill mark?
No, those are actually the marks from the hand chisels used by the CCC. Any work that they did down here was done by the use of hand tools. So all these pathways, these ladders, everything was done by hand tools. They didn't use any explosives or drills or anything like that because they were actually trying to preserve the cave. They didn't want to damage it. So.
Hand dynamite sounds awesome.
Yeah, I know. Sounds dangerous. Yeah. Thing goes in here. If it's fragile, don't touch it. Don't try and lean on it. All good stuff. Take as much time as you need on the ladders and things, but keep an eye out for the person behind you. If you cannot see the person behind you, then holler up at me. That way we're all staying together. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Because I know for a fact I won't be able to see you on that, but.
Careful with your butt up here.
With my butt?
Yeah.
Is my butt gonna hurt something?
It might.
So up here, make sure we stay to the right-hand side of the path. since it's a catwalk and there's nothing on the left. So, have you please?
Is it sweet battery?
It's clearly. This is the catwalk. A catwalk.
I'm too sexy for my shirt right now.
That's horrible.
I know.
You're old.
I'm very old.
Cowbell, anyone? So up here, you can see we have lovely Cape popcorn to our right and above us. So on this ladder up here, make sure you keep your body, your back, elbows, everything close to the ladder. Otherwise, you'll encounter something we call the back scratcher. So if you have a gnarly itch, by all means,
Oh man.
just be
That's
aware.
the whole reason I got this tour.
Just be aware that it is there. It helps. It helps if you move your hands before your feet. That way you're all stretched out. The gloves make it nice too because you can kind of just slide. Is that a sneeze? Bless you. That would be an interesting video. Very shaky.
Shaky ones are the best because that means you were doing something stupid.
Most of our videos are shaky.
I know. We're most of the time doing something stupid.
This one will probably be like jarring, you know, because he's climbing the ladder with his hand.
I'll just add some dubstep.
Right? Is it like a GoPro?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Less infuriating to use, but yeah, the same idea.
You can actually see what you're recording.
You don't need to know Morse code to use it.
So up here we have a game of chutes and ladders. You can either go down and shoot to the left or the ladder to the right. Once we get down at the bottom, kind of arrange yourselves so that all of us can see what I'm going to be doing. How do you guys feel about rock climbing?
Sounds fun.
Chasms?
It's all in the legs.
Alright.
I went to the car too much this week, and so I'm getting all my exercise in.
Right.
Really nice.
Just watch out for this, but she's a doozy. Are either of you planning on using the ladder?
Is a ladder less fun?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Okay, so you can just make sure we can all see this chasm. So this is what we're going to be going across, and I'll demonstrate. We're going to do this one at a time. So we're going to wait until the person in front of you is completely on the ground before the next person goes. I'll be at the bottom helping you guys out. It's a lot more intimidating from this side, but here you guys can see lovely flowstone, nice and slippery stuff. So we are not going to try and hang on to this side of the wall because it's pointless when you have lovely Swiss cheese on this side. So this is what we're going to use for our handholds and footholds. At no point are you going to be forced to move. Everything is at your own pace. So if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. Take a minute where you're at. Breathe. Find something that works. You know, it's not, I can't do this. I don't like this one. Whatever. Just kind of breathe through it. Okay?
I'm mostly worried about being too fat.
Nah.
You'll be fine.
Then you'll just get wedged. So how you start is probably the hardest thing about doing this. It's the most mentally taxing. Oh, but see where my light is shining, where my foot kind of is pointing? That little divot?
Yeah.
That's called the chair or the seat.
So what we're going to do is slide our back along this wall and then just kind of sit there. Once you're there, I'm going to ask you to wait and look at me, and I'm going to point out a rock where you're going to be, it's like your target point. You'll understand once I do it, but just know that once you get there, wait, kind of gather yourself for a minute. Don't just keep on trucking. Because I think it's important to know where you're going before you just kind of, because we are going to be going over and down a little bit. So here, you just find at least one good foothold, maybe two if you're feeling ambitious, or if you want to, doesn't matter. Find two good handholds. There are some really good ones. You can even, stick your whole entire arm in there. You'll notice I'm going to keep my arms kind of eye level or shoulder level. I'm not going to spread myself out a whole lot or try and reach too far down. That just is not a fun time. So find your handholds, footholds, and then you just pull up and smush your body against the wall. And then from here, you'll keep on going over a little bit till you're in that chair. So now I'm in the chair. I'm not going to move my feet. That's the most common thing is people try and move too constantly. They don't want to just sit and chill for a minute. So here, I ask that you don't move your feet, and just for your sakes, just I'm stable right here. I've got my 3 points of contact, my legs on my butt. I can do my hands on my back. Just the sheer pressure is going to wedge me in here. I'm not going anywhere. You can even see my toe isn't necessarily in a rock. It's just barely even on that ledge. I'm safe. I'm not going anywhere. I generally move my hands before my feet, and then I reuse my footholds as well. But for now, I'm just going to lunge over and to the side. Haven't even moved that foot yet. And then same thing. See this hook rock? I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of bald right where my right foot is on. That's the one I'm going to show you while you're sitting here. From here, all you do is stick your right arm out forward. I'll guide you to the handhold because you can't see it from here, so it's a game of hot and cold. And then from here, all you do, hug yourself up to the wall like you love it. Pivot your feet around on this hook rock. And then you can start to work your way down. There are a couple different ways you can do it, and I'll show you once you get here, because I feel like it's pointless to show you something that you can't actually see. But hey, that's just me. All right, who's next?
I guess I'm next. It's the ladder incline tour.
This is like a preview. So go ahead and dangle your feet and find a, hold on, this is cheesy side. Yeah. That's one of those that everyone's like, I can't find it. I'm like, just be patient. So now, all you're going to do, keep this foot where it is and hug yourself up to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I'm hugging and moving.
then you're going to put your left foot on the same rock as this. Just kind of pivot your feet because you're going to swing that way.
Okay.
That side of the rock.
You next, or me? You want me to go last?
There you go.
You gonna go last? Okay.
So from here you have a couple options. You can put your hand on this rock where my shadow is right behind you. Kind of turn around, or you can step down to this one. Whichever. And then I just slide down that smooth part right behind you, just like a playground. I just sit down. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah, but it's just flap it about. Now I'll get Stacy and her final
So
moments
go
of
ahead
life.
and find a foothold.
That way her
Right,
parents will
any
be able to
last
see it.
words? I would actually keep your foot back. Yeah, that little ledge there. If you can find a good one in there, that's what I generally use. But find those good footholds really quick, or a foothold, either one.
I'm not sure my body moves in that way.
Yeah. Well, try so a little bit lower down where your foot just was, up, right there. But can you dig your foot into that crack? I feel like that's where I usually put my feet, but I don't know. So figure out what works for you, and then just pull yourself up and off of that little ledge there. I keep my hand on this side, and then all you just do. There you go. Good. Keep on sliding to the side. You can even leave your feet there if you really like those footholds. That's a crevice. You can stick your foot in there. It's not going anywhere. There you go. So you're in the chair right now. There you go. Take a look over this way before you start moving around. See this hook rock?
Yep.
That's your target point. So your right foot is going to end up there. Just kind of inch yourself over and down. Yeah, that's a good one for that foot. And slide your body. I wouldn't even move your feet. Keep sliding. Keep going, keep going. There you go. And then reach that right foot right down here first. There. Now right arm out straight. There you go. You guys have been good at finding that. Generally, it's like a 5-minute process. So now just hug yourself up towards that. Put both your feet on this hook rock. There you go. And you're going to pivot yourself around. There you go. Perfect. So now, what I was saying is you can either put your hand on the rock behind you or step down to this kind of roundish little stair, yeah. And then brace on that rock, and then I just slide down that way. Good job.
You totally didn't die this time. We'll get you next
So
time.
you guys can walk that way, and then keep going. You'll get to a bar, and then tell me if you see anything familiar up there.
Are margaritas there?
I hope so. But
That's in Tombstone.
different kind of bar.
You should look back for her water bag.
Yeah. She wants to show off her climbing skills that she can go up and down and up and down.
Isn't that staircase though? There's a staircase right,
Right
on
there.
the other side.
She wouldn't cheat. Hey, I think that was a bat right there. There was some sort of
There's
object.
some bats in here. I just saw them fly.
Yeah.
They're down now, but they're not coming back.
They heard us and they figured, you know what, screw those guys.
Yeah. They're just fluttering around. They don't really roost in this part of the cave. We're too loud for them, basically.
I don't blame them.
But they like this room because all the bugs are here because
Yeah,
they're right next
the
to
light.
the entrance. Speaking of bugs. So yeah, they like to come and flutter down here. Scare people who don't like bats. Why did you come here? But
And we just want to take one home and cuddle it and name it George.
I like bats.
See?
so
I like
we're
bats
not
more
done
than
yet,
hats or
but
dogs.
So we just totally spent a bunch of time underground getting our cave on, breathing in bat guano essence and the breath of others that have been in there. Was it everything you hoped and dreamed for?
Oh yes.
Were you scared?
At certain points.
Did you soil yourself?
No.
Are we gonna do the fancy mega cave tour with the rappelling and the climbing and the sex?
Maybe.
Like when? I mean, it's gonna take a while before we have spare money because it's like $90 a person. And realistically, like if we're gonna spend the $90 a person, we also should give the person a tip for their time and words, and we should offer to buy them taco minty fish.
Does it just sound
I don't really like fish anyways.
You're not just salivating at the idea of minty fish. And I don't mean like cooked fish. I mean like I just pulled it out of the lake and started licking it.
It doesn't sound good at all. I like how their ladder tour uses a picture of the tiny ladder because it looks longer to make it kind of imply like look how long this ladder is.
It's not.
It actually was a really cool tour. Like I feel like the amount of dollar bills that we spent versus the amount of awesome that the tour was a very good value.
We did climb around and my heart rate did go up, if mostly from anxiety. And I did enjoy myself.
That's good. I actually feel bad about not giving a tip. I just didn't have anything except 20s. And
When we were sitting there in the darkness the first time, I was sitting right next to this thing that looked like it had kind of caved in.
Yeah.
And I kept imagining that scene from The Hobbit where they're in the pitch black cave and then the goblins come out and they steal all the donkeys, or the ponies.
They steal the donkeys.
They steal the ponies to like eat them.
They grab their asses.
And they kidnap all the dwarves. And
You realize that The Hobbit, I mean, that's a work of fiction.
that's what I kept thinking of.
I do think it'd be sweet if they had like a person that hides out there and then just like scares the poop out of everybody.
They might get injured though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, life is dangerous. You get hurt sometimes.
No, I mean the person doing the scaring might get hurt.
Oh, because someone might fuck their shit up?
There are some of us that respond violently to perceived threat. I feel like I missed the exit.
It's another, like, 22 miles. Well, it was 22 miles, 5 miles back. So it's, we're doing... For those of you watching at home, in case I don't edit this part out, I'm fucking gonna edit this out. But anyways, we're going towards Benson, Arizona, which has a donut shop in it that is run by an Asian lady. And they make very, very good donuts.
Really? I was not told about the donuts.
They're not as good as Best Donuts, and they're not as good as Welcome Chicken.
Their hood is not down all the way.
Those bastards. There's some people who are irresponsibly Corvetting.
Mm-hmm.
But the donuts are, I would say, no less than the 87th best ones in Arizona. No less. Wait, how many Bosas are there? Because it's better than all of them. So take whatever number of...
If it's more than one, then it's too many.
Well, yeah, but take whatever number of total donut stores there are in all of Arizona, and then subtract whatever number of Bosa donuts there are, because those suck. And it's at
I
least...
don't get why people like them.
I don't either. It's at least better than all of the Bosa donuts is. I've enjoyed the donuts there. Twice I've stopped at this place, and twice I've been like, you know what? I did not loathe every moment of eating these donuts. And both times I also got one of those Starbucks milk. It tastes a little bit like coffee. Frappa, fuck your face.
You got Starbucks milk.
Starbucks flavored milk. It really is. It's like 95% milk.
I'm gonna be a bro.
Be a
I'm
bro.
gonna try to be a bro.
He could do it now. He could just slow down like a little tiny bit. There's a trucker right now he's got his blinker on. He's blinking, but he ain't thinking. Anyway, from Benson, one travels south to the city of Tombstone, wherein historic prostitution took place. That's really the existence of Tombstone in a nutshell. Shooting and fucking.
And gambling.
Shooting, fucking, and gambling. Basically, it's most of the West. But the difference being that Tombstone...
Giant mustaches.
Yeah, giant mustaches.
Which I failed to procure a giant mustache.
Well, we're not going to Cochise anyways.
Doesn't matter.
Well, we're not in violation of any international law.
My satiny shirt and my corset and my giant mustache.
It's the pinch and roll technique. Pinch and roll.
Donut. Donut. Donut, 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 donut.
How is it?
It's thumbs up tastic.
I also got a donut thing.
Because I'm a fatty. come you're not getting naked?
Because I'm a bad person.
I know this about you. I find you to be the worst of all the bad people. So where should we go and what should we do? Food?
How? That doesn't look bad, does
Looks
it?
right. I would do you. Unfortunately, I can't do you because you're way too busy not being naked.
But as long as you would do it.
That's all that matters.
That's the important thing here. Didn't you say you wanted sarsaparilla?
It just says that it makes her clothes fall off.
Oh.
Perhaps we will get a bottle as we wander the hell out. Whenever that's the thing to do. So, are you excited now that we're here in the town of here?
Oh my god.
What's the first thing you want to do?
Well, I wish I could eat meat.
Guess you're screwed now. There's a cow poke of some sort, probably pokes cows. These people's job is to stand around and do vestigial, non-productive Western things.
I love draft horses.
I love draft beer. Speaking of which, we should get a beer.
Okay.
We should find a place that serves both beer and food so we can get food because of the reality that food is delicious.
Food is delicious.
Do you want to try and go to that whore place?
You just want to go to the whorehouse.
I'm counting down to the day the server fitting for a king. I'm waiting for the time when I could get to Arizona, cause my money is spent on a goddamn rent. Neither party is mine, that's a jackass or the elephant. 20,000 Nicky brothers in the corner of the South Block, but they come from California, population is none. In the desert is sun, with a gun cracker running things under his thumb, staring hard at the postcards. Isn't it odd and unique? Seeing people smile while in the heat of 120 degrees. Cause I wanna be free. What's a smiling face when the whole state's racist? Why on a holiday, damn it, cause I wanna. So if I celebrate it standing on a corner, I ain't drinking no 40, drinking time with a 9 till we get some land. Call me the trigger man, looking for the governor. He ain't loving you hot, but hear the trouble, yeah, he's rubbing you wrong. Get the point and come along, he can get to the joint. I urinated on the state while I was kicking this song. Yeah, you better be fair, the sucker over there. You try to keep it yesteryear, the good old days, the same old ways that kept us dying. And yes, you, me, myself, and I.
There's a UFO.
Well, it is, because we don't know what it is.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Thus, it's unidentified.
I don't have the ability to zoom this thing in because this thing does not zoom. And even if it did, I don't think the sensors is all that good. But there's a UFO hovering above the mountains. And it's making me urinate my panties at this time. Too late, already urinated. I made that face. Making that
I'm on a one mission to get a politician to honor. Or he's gonna by the time I get to Arizona.
You know what I think? I think you are pretty intense.
I love you.
Right now we're totally camping all up around Parker Canyon Lake, wherein there's a tent and boobs that are not being shown because
There's a camera playing.
because the boob master is evil. The boob master hates us all and wants us all to die. We are like 30 miles from Mexico in a straight line, and for that reason, our cell phones believe that we are in Mexico presently, and so we can't communicate with people, which is okay because we're camping and we don't need to communicate with people. But in the event that we even wanted to, we're not fucked. We're pinchade. I don't even know what is Mexican for fucked. So what are you gonna do inside the tent there? Oh. I'm going to. I see how it is.
I'll show you my boobs.
There's no other people in here. What kind of exciting camp time action have we had?
I slept in a tent and heard a dude snoring.
The dude did snore quite prodigiously. It was amazingly good snoring action. We did have fire. Cooked a marshmallow. That's what dinner consisted of. I made marshmallow s'mores by smashing a burned marshmallow between two halves of a broken Lara bar. And it was much better tasting than that sounds. It was actually pretty good. And now butts.
No butts and heartbeds.
This is the back of Stacy's head. That's the front of her head. The front's a lot sexier. Sometimes the back is all you see though. Watch as I sit here and do literally nothing while she does all sorts of work. In Slovenia, that would make me a real man. I'm not really sure what Slovenia has to do with anything. So we're in Parker Canyon Lake, which I believe is the only lake for like 1,000 miles. So that's why, even though it's just really a little pond, I mean, right now we're looking at the entirety of it in this film. It's quite popular and quite crowded with those who have nowhere else to go. Basically, if you live in like Huachuca or Sierra Vista or Nogales on the U.S. side of it, or Tombstone, or really even Tucson, like there's not a lot in the name of lakes. So this is it. This is what you lake at.
We actually had patrol drive through the campsite.
Yeah, you know, there were more people that work for this place than anything. Like, there was several rounds of rangers going through, and there was like a ranger that came and asked us if we paid money to be there, which we did because we're not savages. And then there was border patrol that came through, and just in general, there's a lot of official activity here at this pond.
Also that blimp over the mountains.
There's a blimp over there. I don't know if it'll come out in the film at all, but there's a blimp which hovers, and I think it's one of those ones with all the cameras in it to watch the border, because the border is that way approximately 30 miles and stuff. Also, I had something kind of cool happen. My oar, which is made by Shoot, is shit. This is the brand name, Shoot, and let me see if I can make this thing. See, look, it just comes apart. Like, it just comes right the fuck apart. Pretty cool, huh? There are people existing. There's a swimmer swimming. The water's not terribly cold, and it's rather clear in general.
As far as lakes go, it's not bad. You see all the particulate in it?
You're a particulate. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this lake?
Without knowing what kind of critter life it has inside of it, I'd say 6 or a 7.
6 or 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
You're generous. You are a generous guy.
Well, consider the lake I grew up with, which you have only ever seen frozen.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the lake you grew up with.
When I was little, it was a little bit clearer than this. But then as I got older, it was so much
got to die.
Soy un vikingo y solo sé conquistar, destrozar, aniquilar, cojo enfermedades de transmisión.